Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Feel It to Heal It podcast. So today is Black Friday. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. It's crazy holiday time. Holiday season is here. So I felt inspired to record a little pod app, and I'm also going live on TikTok to chat a little bit about a couple of things. One, how this work is different than maybe other things you tried, because someone had messaged me on Instagram saying, well, I'll just read the Power of Now book and it's all the same. And I was like, oh boy, okay, I need to talk more about this. And then the second thing was inspired by me just going to Anthropology and returning this dress that I'd gotten on full price and then going back to get it on sale to get some money back. And I was just looking at this long line of people and I was like, damn, like our society is so willing to spend so much time and energy and money on clothes, including me, but not willing to invest in literally creating a new way of being, which does not include me because obviously I wouldn't be here talking to you about it if that was me. And I've experienced both. I've experienced just this life where I would so easily prioritize my time, my energy, and my money on my addictions: food addiction, shopping addiction, spending addiction, TV addiction, you name it. I had that addiction. And I've also experienced the return of investment on investing in myself and investing in learning a new way of being. And it's not that we can't have both. It's not that we can't enjoy both, right? Like my human design, whenever, anytime I read my chart, it's like I'm literally designed to blend the spiritual and the material. So I'm meant to help humans learn how to relate to the material world, but from a spiritual, grounded, aligned, authentic lens. And that is why some of my biggest healing has been around looking at where I'm going to the material as a form, a sneaky form of my inner child trying to feel good enough or worthy enough or seeking external saving or distracting from emotion or any of the other things that it does. And so as I'm embodying this more and more, I'm looking at the world around me and I'm like, it just makes me so sad that we are so addicted and we are so disconnected. And so going back to the message I received, someone was interested in my Black Friday bundle where three of my signature programs are bundled up for one discounted price. And they were messaging me asking for details. I shared the details. I asked, how those details were landing. And they were like, well, this guy is doing this for $99 and I could just read this book. And at the end of the day, it's all just about nervous system regulation and nervous system rewiring. And I was like, totally, yes. And here's the difference: you can go to any nervous system expert and learn some somatic practices. I do somatic practices every day. I chant, I meditate, I shake, I dance, I sing. Those somatic practices are beautiful, but they are not enough to build full internal safety, full freedom in your body, because that is the work of relational healing, of attachment wound healing. Oftentimes, you'll go to a nervous system expert and they won't even mention the inner child or attachment styles or attachment wounding, or you'll go to an attachment style expert, but they don't even mention the nervous system. And so we can't have one without the other. Like those are two sides of the same coin. Our nervous system is wired in childhood, and until we actually process the stored emotion from our relational wounding, we are wounded in relationship and we heal in relationship, we are not going to feel free in our bodies. Because you can meditate all day long, but if you can't look at yourself in your own eyes without squirming away, without getting uncomfortable, if you can't look someone else in their eyes and hold that eye contact without your heart wanting to burst out of your fucking chest, like that is attachment wounding. Your fear of being seen, your fear of showing up online, your fear of creating your magic, your fear of putting yourself out there, your fear of using your voice, your perfectionism, your control, your judgment, your rumination, your comparison, your addictions, all of these things are very sneaky, subtle ways that the inner child is running your life. And so I do inner child healing so differently. And that's why when I got this message about, like, oh, I'll just read The Power of Now, like, great, that's a beautiful book. But if that was all you needed to build full nervous system safety, I would have saved myself over $60,000 that I've invested to be trained in this specific healing method. And something that this person and I were DMing about was, he was saying, well, I don't want to be put in a box that it has to be this way. And I said, exactly. But that's the whole point, is our society loves to put us in boxes of, like, you have to do this, or you have to do this, or you have to do it my way, or the highway, right? And it's like, there is no my way. There is, I have found a way that allows you to be you, the youiest you there is, to actually guide you home to your most authentic self, so that you don't feel like you have to be in a box, so that you don't feel like you have to do the same thing that someone else is doing, so that you can find your unique energetic blueprint in this world. And so somatic practices are helpful, but they're not enough. Nervous system regulation practices are beautiful. I do them every day, but they are not enough to feel fully internally free. And so the method that I use, that was created by my mentor Yarrow, is a blend of somatics, psychology, energetics, spirituality, with a heavy, heavy emphasis on becoming your own energetic master, like really understanding what truth, the energy of truth, feels like in your body, understanding what the energy of a lie feels like in your body, understanding what the energy of anxious attachment feels like in your body, understanding what the energy of connection feels like in your body. These are very nuanced, gray, subtle things, right? And it's not a thing that you just read in a textbook and you're like, okay, it's an embodiment, it's an experience of it. So the three programs that I have bundled up are specifically for single entrepreneurs who want to relate to their life and business and relationships from a place of authenticity, from a place of secure attachment, which, again, secure attachment is not even about attachment. It's actually about non-attachment. I'm going to say that again. Secure attachment is not about attachment. It is about non-attachment. Now, non-attachment does not mean you don't care. It doesn't mean that you're aloof. It doesn't mean that you're nonchalant. It means that you are able to be with all things without attaching onto it. So you're able to be with shame. You're able to be with anger. You're able to be with pain. You're able to be with joy. You're able to be with fear. But you're not getting sucked into any, you're not attaching onto any of those. That's the difference. When you can learn how to be with your emotion without attaching onto it, you literally become the most powerful person in the world. How do we do that? We have to learn how to feel our feelings that our nervous systems have been wired to avoid since the dawn of time. So this is no easy job. And the biggest mistake I see people make is that they try and do it alone. They say, oh, well, I'm just going to read the book. I'm just going to listen to this podcast. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do that. But we can't do it alone because, again, you're giving your inner child a reparative experience from relational wounding in childhood. How would that make any sense for that reparative experience to be the same thing that wounded you to begin with, which is essentially feeling alone in your emotions? That is literally like the number one thing. If I could summarize the relational wounding, is that as children, we felt alone in our emotions. We didn't have someone to attune to us. Attune to us just means be with us in the emotion. Learn that it's safe to feel the emotion, not feeling alone in the emotion. And so, if we didn't get that in childhood, how would the solution then be to heal on our own? When the healing happens in someone being with you in the emotion and attuning to you and showing you how to actually feel that emotion. So the work I do is very simple and it is the hardest work you'll ever do because it is full spiritual transformation. It is full shift of your energetic vibration. It's a full energetic vibration transformation from survival mode, the energetic vibration of survival mode, when you're binging TV, you're overthinking, you're spiraling, your anxiety's out of control, you attach onto labels like ADHD, OCD, sickness, because these are the ways that your inner child has gotten needs met. And that's okay. That's brilliant that your nervous system has found ways of getting its needs met, but that's not actually who you are. Who are you underneath your anxiety? Who are you underneath your depression? Who are you underneath the label of OCD? Who are you underneath the label of ADHD? Who are you underneath the bipolar diagnosis? And yes, I just used quotation marks around bipolar because I don't believe in attaching to labels. I used to be a clinical therapist where I would have to diagnose people, and it was my least favorite part of the job. Now, personally and professionally, I do believe that diagnoses or labels or language to give a structure, a framework around symptoms that you're experiencing can feel helpful, but as a tool, not as an attachment to your identity. So, oh, I'm struggling with this thing called anxiety, or for me, I was struggling with BPD symptoms, borderline personality disorder symptoms. Having that framework was very helpful. Like, oh, that actually explains a lot of how I've been feeling. But if I had attached on to that of, oh, I am this, I am borderline, like that actually would have disconnected me even further from my authentic self. The healing is looking at the root of those symptoms, how those symptoms have helped me get needs met, how those symptoms have actually tried to keep me safe, and then how can I find another way of meeting those same needs in a more effective way. So I'll give you an example. The other day I had a messaging support day with my mentor, and I noticed that there was a lot of chaos happening around me. Now, this is a very old way that my nervous system is known safety, is it attracts chaos when it's feeling scared in order to get attention. And so I noticed like it was a particularly chaotic day. My dog tried jumping out the window, literally left the window, went on the balcony, and I was scared that she was going to run off the ledge and chase a squirrel. She needed to go to the vet for something unrelated. What else happened? My cat bit me. Like there was just so much chaos. And my mentor was like, "You don't need to do this." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "You don't need to create chaos because you're feeling scared." Now, the old me would have felt so invalidated, and I did feel invalidated, but I knew that when she's saying that, it's because that is an old way that my nervous system was trying to get needs met. So she said, what do you actually need? Well, I'm feeling scared about this particular thing that feels really scary, and so I need validation and holding around the fear. And that she could give me. And so we could get to the root. And this is what I do with my clients every day. I cut through the fluff and the bullshit, and we get to the root. We get to the root of what is the need that you're trying to get met? Oh, you're trying to feel safe because you feel terrified. You're trying to avoid your shame. So we need to teach you how to be with your shame. Do you know how many issues in your life is created from an avoidance of shame? And if you actually learned how to just be with your shame, you would you would literally just save yourself so much time, energy, and money. The amount of money you spend because of your shame. Oh, I'm going to go get this facelift because I don't feel safe to be me. I'm going to go spend this money because that's the thing that's going to make me feel worthy. I'm going to go buy these jeans because this person looks good in those jeans. Like we are constantly spending time, energy, and money avoiding being ourselves because we don't feel safe to be ourselves. Do you know that most of the time people's anxieties, the root of that anxiety is not fear? Well, technically fear, but guess what you're scared of? You're scared of the shame of being you. How wild is that? And then what do? We go to the doctor, we say, "Hey, I'm feeling anxiety." We don't get to the root of it. The doctor then gives us pills And then we're numbing our shame of being ourselves, which then further disconnects us from our true selves and the actual emotion living in our body. And then we perpetuate the cycle. So we, instead of getting further connected to the shame, we get further disconnected from it, avoiding ourselves even more. We're literally taking medication to numb out being ourselves. How wild is that? I'll never forget when my mentor and I uncovered that. We were like, holy shit. Like, people are just fucking popping them pills to medicate being them because having shame is a human experience. And so when we look at why do I feel shame to be myself? I have clients that they want to get surgery, they want to change their hair from straight to curly or curly to straight, or they want to get this thing done because they don't feel accepted. And so they think, well, if I can just do this thing, then I'll be accepted. How much of your life are you literally creating based on not feeling accepted, not feeling like you belong? Now, listen, not belonging is not always a bad thing. But as humans, we want to belong. And so it feels terrifying if we feel like we don't belong. But you have to look at, well, what makes me feel like I don't belong? Because innately you do, or else you wouldn't be here. Like God made no mistake in you being here. So if you don't feel like you belong, you have to look at, well, where does that come from? And most of the time it comes from you shoulding all over yourself. Well, I should be like this person, and so I'm not like them, and so I don't belong. But if you actually felt safe to be you and get to know who the fuck you are, and stop comparing to everyone else, you might actually feel like you belong because you belong with you. When you belong with you, you attract people that are in alignment with that energetic vibration of you. But when you are not in alignment with your authentic vibration, you are attracting people who are not in alignment, and then confirms the loop of, see, I don't belong because I'm attracting all these shitty people. So it starts with you, and it's 111 here. So make a wish. Does anyone have questions about that? Because this is so important. This is literally what birthed my program, Authenticity Unleashed, is when I realized how much of my life was created from a place of my inner child trying to get needs met. I was vegetarian for 15 years of my life. None of that was authentic. That was all little me because I got attention for it. I felt special for it. I would get even negative attention for it. Negative attention is still attention. And without attention, you feel like you're going to die. And so then we have shame around needing attention, but we all need attention. It's, can I get attention for being me rather than getting attention for being sick, for being broke, for being addicted, for being your symptoms, right? It's, do I want attention for my symptoms, or do I want attention for my authenticity? Do I want attention for my symptoms? Do I want attention for my authenticity? And let me tell you, as someone who has gotten a lot of attention for both, it feels a million times better when you can get attention for just being you. It's like all the ways that you've been overcompensating for not feeling enough as you, all of that gets to soften. I used to be one of those people where I would constantly overcompensate. I would be the girl in my friend group where I would like do the big bold thing or show this off, or it was always this like performance, and it would get me a lot of attention. And now it's like, oh wait, I don't have to do that, and it feels so much better because I naturally just get attention for being me. And so who are you underneath those symptoms? Who are you underneath the younger part of you that doesn't know another way of safety? Because that is where I come in. I'm here to show you a different way of safety. It all comes back to safety. Every single symptom that you have, your anxiety, your racing thoughts, your heart pounding in the morning, your sweaty palms, your over explaining, your over justifying, your rumination, your obsessing, your fantasizing, I could go on and on and on. All of that is a way that little you has gotten needs met. And there's no shame in that. It's okay if you feel shame around it. I've had plenty of shame around the ways that my inner child has gotten needs met because some of those ways have been real cringy. And when you can be with that shame without making it mean anything about you, you set yourself free. And then you actually feel safe to be you. So, my program, Authenticity Unleash, is meant to guide you through this exact transformation. but you can't do it alone. And so that's why I have my membership for the police to get live support. So what people do is they join Authenticity Unleashed. It's a five module program. It's usually at 777 and for Black Friday, $296. Think about all of your addictions that you spend $296 on. And don't tell me you don't, because I know you do, including myself. If I look at my monthly expenses, I could the past me, I would have spent thousands of dollars, DoorDash, Netflix subscriptions. I've shifted that a lot, but we all have no problem investing in our addictions. That $7 matcha I just got, I mean, it was delicious, I'm not gonna lie. But if I got that and then said, oh, you know what? No, I can't invest in my healing anymore. That's the biggest load of shit I've ever heard of, right? So you have to look at, are you worth investing in to become yourself? And then what is the ROI of that? Because when my clients invest in themselves, the ROI is not just financially, although it is financially. My clients come to me really broke, barely being able to afford me, and then they walk out really not broke, making more money than they ever have. And more importantly than the money, because you can go on this app and you can find a million coaches bragging about how they took a shit and $1 million came out. They make it seem so easy, right? Oh, I sneezed. Boom. Oh, here's $1 million. That's not the biggest flex to me. The biggest flex to me is, how do you feel in your body? How do you feel in your own relationship with yourself, in your relationship, in your lives? Because we have forgotten how to actually have relationships in this world. We make relationships about, I need you. I need you to validate me. I need you to make my inner child feel safe. I need you to do things better. I'm going to just criticize you and nag you. I mean, God, the amount of couples that I work with where the woman just fucking nags the man like a child, I'm like, guys, this isn't love. This is you replaying your childhood. And it is you outsourcing your power, because relationships and love are not meant to be about criticism and nagging. And I would know, because I used to be that person in my relationships. I would nag my partners, I would criticize my partners. And you know why? Because I didn't feel enough. And so I was then projecting that onto my partner and not making them enough. And to any of my exes watching this, because my exes love watching my content, it's fucking hilarious. I apologize because you were always enough and I was always enough. Our inner children were just in battle. And so when we can heal those younger parts and actually reparent, we can relate through connection. We can relate through love, because love is freedom. I'm just looking at the comments. I'm still new to this whole TikTok live thing. Um, Marielle says I was validated a lot at work. Yeah, I mean, listen, validation is not innately bad. We all need it. It's just about, like, what do we want validation for? And are we grasping it and seeking it? Or are we allowing space to naturally receive it? Because that's the difference. It feels so much better when you're not grasping for it. You don't need it, but someone gives it to you and you're like, fuck yeah, that felt so nice to get that validation. We all need to feel seen. We all need to feel heard. It's just like, if my client is grasping for validation from a place of inner child and actually fixating on something that's not helpful and it's not getting to the root, I won't validate that. But as soon as they are honest about and coming from a heart-centered place of like, oh, I feel scared right now, I feel shame right now, I feel pain, what, like, if I can hear and feel that emotion, I will validate the shit out of them, because that is helpful. We want to reinforce being connected to our hearts and being connected to how we're actually feeling, rather than perpetuating getting attention for sickness and symptoms. And when I say sickness, I use that as an umbrella term. It could be physical sickness, it could be brokenness, it could be anxiety, OCD, it's symptoms. It's whatever symptoms that are not actually you. So, Authenticity Unleashed takes you from your survival mode self, your disconnected self, and it brings you to getting to know who the fuck you are. And this is a process, right? I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you guys and be like, yeah, 5 modules and you'll be completely transformed and then you can die because your evolution is done. No, we're always transforming. We're always evolving. But this framework that I give you, I have a whole module on releasing protectors, on alchemizing your triggers, on releasing your addictive behaviors, on grieving all of the old ways that your inner child took over, all the old ways that you have not felt safe to be you. Because there is going to be grief around that. When you start to see things clearly, you're like wiping the lens on your glasses and you're like, holy fuck. It's a lot to see. And none of us are exempt from this. We all have real cringy shit that we do, especially in our romantic lives, because romantic relationships bring up all of the shit. And that's a perfect segue into my program, Powerfully Single. So, in this bundle, Authenticity Unleash, Powerfully Single, Secure Entrepreneur. Powerfully Single is if you are single and you use your time to numb out with TV, vaping, drinking, smoking pot, having casual sex, grasping on the dating apps, overworking, over exercising, trying to fix yourself. Like, if you use your time single to avoid yourself, until you get into the next relationship. And maybe you're like, you know what? I feel so confident when I'm, this is what I used to say. I feel so confident when I'm single, but as soon as I get into a relationship, I feel batshit crazy. How many of you have felt that? I know I'm not the only one. You feel so good about yourself, you're feeling yourself, and then as soon as that relationship hits, you're like, oh my God, I feel crazy. That is because your attachment wounding is getting triggered and you're not actually connected to yourself. You're not using your time single to connect to yourself. So that is why I created Powerfully Single, so that you can go from disconnected to connected. You can go from disempowered to empowered. You can go from, I don't know who the fuck I am, to, oh, I actually know who I am, so that by the time I attract a relationship, I'm going to be attracting it from a place of connection and overflow and actual love rather than attachment energy. Oh, it's so important because let me tell you, I have recently attracted some romance into my life after 2 years of being single. No, longer than that. I haven't had a boyfriend in 4 years. The last connection I had was a year and a half. Let me tell you guys something. When I used to date, it was my inner child running the show. Sex, inner child running the show. Dating, inner child running the show. Texting, communication, inner child running the show. Graspy behavior, grasping, um, over explaining, sending novel length texts, like, oh, all the cringy things. Now I've been so in my powerfully single era. I've been focusing on creating my life. I've been focusing on myself. And without looking for it, I've attracted a beautiful romance. And it is beyond what I could have even imagined. And that's the whole point, is the unknown is where the magic happens. So if you're constantly trying to control and figure out what's going to happen and just need to know all the things, you're literally squashing the magic out of your life, because all of the magic happens in the unknown. Let me say that again. All of the magic happens in the unknown. There is no magic in the controlling energy, in the let me grip and grasp on for dear life. There is no magic that can come from that. So you either are in faith or you're in control, but you cannot be in control and faith at the same time. So, Powerfully Single teaches you exactly how to release that control and go from a disconnected dater where you are grasping on for dear life. And again, this program is for if you want to use your single time dating, or maybe you want to break from dating and you just want to feel safe to focus on yourself. We look at dating like, in this society, we look at single people as like, oh, are you okay? Do you need help? Meanwhile, the divorce rate is 1 in 2 marriages end in divorce. Like, and we're not more concerned about what's happening there, but we're so concerned about single people. Like, really look at that. Look at where our society values settling for attachment relationships rather than actually learning to feel safe on your own, so that if you desire a relationship, you can have one from a place of desire, not from a place of, I'm going to transfer my needs from daddy and mommy to my partner. And then I'm going to project all my inner child needs onto my partner and treat my husband like he's my father. That is not sexy. That is not hot. That is not attractive. No one wants to date an inner two, like an activated inner 2-year-old. And I say that with so much love because I used to be that activated inner 2-year-old. And I can tell you, not attractive, not sexy, not going to spice up the bedroom in your relationship. No, no, no. It's you falling in love with you connecting home to you becoming your own anchor of safety. I cannot emphasize this enough. Feel so passionately about this, you guys. Like, I want everyone to do this work. Literally everyone. There is nothing more important. Okay, so 5 modules in Powerfully Single. We have module 1, the disconnected dater. Module 2, a sacred sanctuary. So, how are you treating your internal environment? How are you treating your external environment? How are you taking care of yourself? Are you living in a fucking tornado because your inner child is like, I don't want to clean or do the dishes? No one fucking wants to do the dishes, but you also don't want to feel like shit. And so, your external is a reflection. Listen, you're talking to the queen of sweatpants. I would walk around in sweatpants every day if I could, and a lot of times I do. But every once in a while, like today, I'm like, maybe I actually want to put on, some real clothes and wash my hair and put on some makeup and some earrings because I love myself and I want to feel good for me. I want to shave my legs for me. Like it's not for a man, it's not for a friend, it's not for society. It's like I want to do these things for me. And so it's looking at your daily habits. So that's module 3 is your single habits. What are your habits? Are you only taking care of yourself when you're in a relationship? What does that say? Literally, what does that say? Tell me in the comments. What does that say? If you are only taking care of yourself in a relationship, what does that say about how you feel about you? I will wait. Module 4, becoming your own best date. So again, what are the things you're waiting to do until you have a partner? For me, it was, oh, I'm not going to get a dog until I have a partner because I want someone to help me raise it. Well, newsflash, I now have 2 dogs and I've raised both of those dogs fully on my own and I have a cat. So yes, I have 3 fur babies that I did not wait for any man to come in and help me with because I'm a grown ass woman. So you can see the ways our inner child tries to convince us, like, oh, just wait until you have a partner and they can do it and da 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 da. You're a grown ass adult. You are a grown ass adult, and it's time we all grow the fuck up, but we don't know how to do that because we're not taught. We're not taught how to be an adult. We're taught how to be an inner child. Module 5, the powerfully single you. So let me see if I can show you guys this. Basically, each module, oh, it's going to make me log in. And my Kajabi has actually been down all day. I don't know why. So I can't show you, but basically each module has a video component. It has a journal prompts. What are my dogs chasing? A fly? Oh, it's a fly. It has journal prompts. It has affirmations. It has integration homework. And then you join the membership. It's half off, only $55, and you get 2 live coaching calls with me per month, 2 live trainings on fresh content, anything you want to learn more about, and an entire community of other people doing this work. Because again, we cannot heal alone. So, what do you spend $55 on? Can you tell me one thing that would be more of a worthy investment than investing in rewiring your entire nervous system out of survival mode so that you can actually feel safe in your body? Like, I want you to actually look at that. What are you spending $55 on a month that has nothing to do with the most important thing in the world? Feeling connected to yourself, feeling safe in your body, feeling good, feeling safe to land and joy, feeling safe to be in this present moment. Trauma is a disconnection from this present moment. That's all it is. Trauma is a disconnection from this present moment. And so if you don't feel safe to land in the present moment and you're constantly living in the past or the future or mind setting your way through the day, which is a load of shit, because if you're not looking at the emotion, creating your mindset, changing your mindset is not going to do you good. It's not going to help. And I would know because I used to be a CBT therapist. I was trained in cognitive behavioral therapy. That shit does not work because you're not processing the emotion. And then people are going to say, oh, but it's evidence based. Who's the evidence? What's the evidence? Are those people embodied and connected to themselves? We value evidence over what actually feels true in our own bodies. If that doesn't show you where we outsource our power, I don't know what does. So be very careful of what evidence you are looking at when you are making decisions of different types of healing because, oh, I was in that therapy world. And let me tell you, the evidence was not looking so good. All right, so we have Powerfully Single, we have Authenticity Unleash, 5 modules. Module 1, meeting your authentic self. How do we get disconnected from our authentic selves to begin with? We dive deep into trauma, deep into the nervous system, deep into your attachment wounding. Module 2, triggers to truth. What are triggers? And then I'm going to teach you my 7-step process for moving through triggers. So you go to that holiday party, you notice that trigger come up in your body, and you're like, ah, fuck, what do I do now? I'm blacking out, and Aunt Susie is telling me a story. You're going to know exactly how to move through a trigger. And not only are you going to know how to move through it, you're going to know how to alchemize it because there's truth, there is emotion, there is gold underneath that trigger. That if you are just allowing the cycle of triggers to continue over and over and over and over again, and you're not actually learning how to alchemize it, you're not healing it. You're just shooting yourself over and over. Because I always use the analogy for triggers as a loaded gun. Every time you get triggered, you're releasing some of that ammunition. And if you don't process the emotion, it's just going to stay charged. But if you release that emotion, you're actually going to process the charge and you're going to have less activation. So if you get triggered and you're tired of being triggered because you don't have to be triggered all the damn time. I used to be triggered 24/7 and it was exhausting. It was so exhausting. I'm going to teach you exactly how to process your triggers so that you are going to be a trigger transformer and it's going to be so powerful. Module 3, protectors to power. So, what are protectors? What are addictive behaviors? And then I'm going to teach you 5 steps to move through those protectors and actually release them so that you don't have to live through control. You don't have to live through perfectionism. You feel safe to just be you. Oh, God. What is more important than that? Module 4, releasing all that is not you. So, this is where we grieve the past versions that they got to go. They got to go. They got to die. And that's going to come with feeling a lot of shame and a lot of pain and a lot of anger and a lot of grief. And that's okay. We grieve the old versions to make space for who we actually are. And that brings us to module 5, the authentic you. I'm going to guide you through taking everything you learn in the first 4 modules and getting to know who you actually are. This program should be taught in schools. And that is a goal one day to get this into schools to be taught for free. And I teach a lot for free, but right now it is not for free. However, it is on mega sale. This program is usually $777, and until Monday, it is on sale for $296, or if you buy the bundle, all 3 for $888. All 3 of these programs are normally $2,667. You're getting all 3 for $888. Come on now. Come on. Now, the third program is a secure entrepreneur. Again, if you're not single and you're not an entrepreneur, you can just get Authenticity Unleashed. But if you are single, you're an entrepreneur, and you want to get to know who the fuck you are, take advantage of the bundle. So, the Secure Entrepreneur is for entrepreneurs who want to relate to their businesses from secure attachment. I used to relate to my business from a place of anxious attachment. I would grasp on. I would try and figure it out. I would be like, oh my God, but what am I going to make this month and this month and this month? Now I'm like, I can only do what's in my power, and all I can do is show up and spread my magic and spread my wisdom and trust and be in faith and know that I'm deeply supported. So this course is not just about business, it's a money course. It's shifting your relationship with money. Where are you anxiously attached to money? Because your attachment style is indicative of your relationship with money. So if you're anxiously attached to your partner, you're anxiously attached to money. If you are avoidant with your partner, you're going to be avoidant with money. If you're disorganized attached, which means you have both, you're going to relate that way at work, at home, to your partner, to your friends, and to your money. And so the work that we're doing in Powerfully Single is focused on building secure attachment to yourself in dating Secure entrepreneur is building secure attachment in business and in money. So you see the work, the thread of the work is the same. It's all the same roots, but it's applying it to different areas. And then Authenticity Unleashed is like an expansion of all of that, where it's not focused on just one topic, but it's focused on you becoming the youiest you there is. Mm. And imagine what the world will look like if everyone actually felt safe to be themselves. There would be no war, there would be no crime, there would be no hate, there would be no violence. And I don't know about you, that is the world I want to live in. I don't want to live in a world that is filled with hate and disconnection and addiction and wars and fighting, and because we're all one. We all come from the same place. Like, I didn't come from Mars and you from Venus. Like, we're all fucking from source energy. And so if you're fighting, shooting, hurting, shit talking someone else, that is a mirror of how you relate to yourself. It doesn't mean you can't feel anger towards someone. It doesn't mean that you can't dislike someone, but what do you dislike about them? What do they trigger in you? Because that is an invitation to turn inward. The external always mirrors the internal. With money, so if you're struggling to bring in money, hold money, circulate money, invest money, if you're hoarding money, that is how you relate to yourself. Same thing with your romantic dating life. How you relate in that is how you relate to yourself. So, for those that are still here live, thank you for staying here all the way. Do we have any questions about this bundle before it expires? I also have my merch store if you're looking for cute holiday ideas. Let me show you. We have journals, Creating a Life Beyond My Wildest Dreams, so 10% off the entire merch store. And these make for such cute gifts because you're spreading the healing through the gifts, right? What did I tell you? I blend the spiritual and the material. This is a material item with a spiritual saying on it. Case in point. So they make for really, really great gifts, mugs, sweatshirts, 100% cotton, none of that polyester shit. Journals, mugs, hats. What else do we have in there? Phone cases. It's a whole store. 10% off until Monday. And then I also have my course Come Home to Yourself, which is not officially launched as a public offer, but I've been kind of secretly selling it to some of you because you've reached out about wanting to heal anxious attachment. If you want to heal anxious attachment, my course Come Home to Yourself, which I've never sold as just a course, it's always been a live program, but I'm shifting my business where you can buy courses and then the live component is the membership. So whatever course you're in, you come to the membership. I help coach you process the stored emotion coming up and help you integrate. Because if you're just doing courses, it's going to go in one ear and out the other. But if you're actually seen and witnessed and held in co-regulation, you're then going to learn how to self-regulate. You're then going to learn to feel safe to be you. And so whatever courses you're moving through, you come to the membership, you bring your questions, you bring what you're struggling with, you get hot seat coaching, you get personalized Q&A, you get personalized topics created for you. That's just going to help you integrate and embody everything that you're learning. So these courses again are normally over $2,000 total, but I want to make this so accessible. Oh, Come Home to Yourself. That's what I was saying. Come Home to Yourself is a 12 module course. It's my most extensive course that is normally with a live component over 5,000. I run 4 live rounds of it. I don't know if or when there will be another live round. So right now I'm offering it as a self-paced course that is normally priced at $999 because again, it is the most comprehensive course that I have. And for Black Friday, I'm giving it to some people, which is so insane to even say this, at $333. Because again, I just want to make this work accessible because everyone needs it more than you even realize. Like, this work is perfect for people that have done all the things. You've done the talk therapy, you've done the somatics, you've done the blah, blah, blah. Or maybe you haven't and you're like, I'm just ready to save myself time and not have to go through all that other shit. And let's just get to the root. This work gets to the root like nothing else. You will see clearly. You will understand yourself and your symptoms on a whole other level. You'll be like, oh, wait, that's why I was relating that way. That's why I was feeling this way. And so if you want Come Home to Yourself, again, it's not even like fully set up to be an evergreen course, but it is the deepest dive I have specifically on healing anxious attachment. It has different modules of how healing attachment shows up in all areas, business, romantic, you name it, we got a module on it, and teaches you how to build secure attachment so you can become your own anchor of safety and come home to yourself, which is my first tattoo. Woo! Can you guys guess what this is? People can never guess what that is. Any guesses before I tell you? It's not grapes, I'll tell you that. My first tattoo to remind me that it is all about coming home to yourself. That's literally the work, y'all. The work is learning how to feel safe to be your own anchor of safety. So you stop grasping onto your partner, you stop grasping onto money, you stop grasping onto the next thing that's going to save you. This work is not here to save you. This work is here to guide you home to yourself. Um, oh, wait, I have a pop-up thing. This is in line with the for you. Okay. I don't know what it's popping up. Anyway, all right. Do we have any questions before we wrap up for today? Any questions on any of the programs? The link is in my bio to purchase the bundle, or if you would like to just purchase one separately, then DM me and I will send you the link. And if you would like the merch store link and the merch store code, DM me for that as well. And if you want to come home to yourself, which is not in the link in bio, message me. My messages are open. If you want to chat through to see what is the best fit, I always offer a free discovery call. So if you want to get on a quick Zoom call, I'm around. We can chit chat, find the best fit for you. These programs will never be this low again. Again, usually the lowest sale price for these are $555. I've never, ever, ever sold them at $296. Like it's a little insane for the value you're getting. It comes with daily somatic practices, integration homework, the full video, training videos, bonus grounding meditation videos, inner child meditation video. Like for the value and the transformation you experience, 296 is insane. But I'm like, you know what? We're just going to do it because the people need this. The people need the work, and it is my job to deliver it. So, do we have any questions at all? Thank you guys so much for being here. Any questions, any clarification, anything that I haven't already covered on the live, anything about secure attachment, this work, healing, anything you're struggling with that you want some feedback on, I'm here. So just let me know in the comments. Wow, we had a lot of you here. Look at all these names. This is so fun. I never do a TikTok live. I always go on Instagram, so I'm slowly making my way here. We had 700 likes. Look at this. This is so fun. We got some hearts. Amazing. All right. Any last minute questions? Oh, we have a message here. One new message. Where do I see it? Oh, I think I actually have to go into my messages. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll go check my messages. Anyone have any last minute questions, comments on the live before we head off? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right. Well, I had the most fun with you, and I'm going to end the podcast recording. Thank you for those listening to the pod recording. I love you. Enjoy these programs. I cannot wait to hear how they transform you. It makes me giddy. Like when people discover this work and they then go through it and feel the shifts, like it's literally Christmas every day. It's Christmas. I can't even explain how much joy it brings me. Like if I didn't have bills to pay, I would do this work for free. Sometimes I do. I mean, I do content every day for free. I do a lot of shit for free. Do my podcast for free because I literally love this work with my whole heart and soul. So, love you guys. See you on the next episode.